Welcome back, speed addicts and torque chasers. Today we're diving into the underworld of Japanese engineering. The cars that never made it to the big stage but could smoke a so-called supercar before lunch. These were the rebels of the streets. Machines so fast that regulators panicked and sealed them away. Buckle up because we're unlocking the garage of 7 forbidden Japanese beasts that could outrun the best of Europe's show ponies without even breaking a sweat. Seven, Subaru Legacy RSR. Long before the Impreza WRX took rally fame, Subaru's fire started with the Legacy RSR. It looked ordinary, a 4-door sedan with clean, sensible lines. But under the hood was a turbocharged 2-liter EJ20 engine, bred directly from rally stages. A lightened body, reinforced transmission, close-ratio gearbox, and Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive meant grip like no other. The RSR stood for Race Altered, and that was no joke. This wasn't built for comfort or compliance. No air conditioning, minimal sound insulation, a cabin more pit lane than showroom. Regulators banned or restricted it in many countries over noise, emissions, and lacking modern safety features. But the RSR was a quiet menace, humiliating sports cars twice its price on both gravel and tarmac. It became the unsung hero of Subaru's rally empire, a legend in plain sight. 6. Mitsubishi FTO GPVR. The FTO was supposed to be the sensible cousin to the Lancer Evolution, a stylish, everyday front-wheel drive coupe. Then came the GPVR, and sensible was thrown out the window. This limited production car stuffed a 2-liter Herm 4 CV6 engine that revved like a banshee, pushing nearly 200 horsepower to the front wheels through a close-ratio manual gearbox. The GPVR was a precision instrument disguised as a commuter coupe. Its power band was electric, chassis balance near supernatural, and steering so tight it felt wired straight to your fingertips. For Japan, it was a gift. For the world, forbidden. Safety and emissions laws instantly banned it from US roads, and parts of Europe flagged it too. Mitsubishi quietly pulled the plug, leaving a handful of ghostly gray imports behind. Wild and light, just in a smaller package. 5. Mazda RX-7 Spirit R Type A. Mazda's last gift to rotary fans. The Spirit R Type A distilled the RX-7's soul into a final masterpiece. It featured the 13BREW twin-turbo rotary, officially rated at 276 horsepower, though anyone behind the wheel knew it was underrated. Light as a feather, with perfect 50-50 weight distribution, it held an edge most supercars could only dream of. This wasn't about brute force. It was telepathy. Steering came alive, brakes bit hard, and turbos spooled in harmony with throttle input. Mountain passes? It danced, not drove, turning corners into art. But regulators worried. Emissions rules and safety tests in the US and Canada labeled it too unconventional. The rotary's oil burning and tricky maintenance scared off compliance boards, banning it not from danger, but for defying norms. Enthusiasts call it legendary. 4. Honda Civic Type R EK9. Before the Type R badge was global, the EK9 was Japan's Little Red Devil, released in 1997. Honda didn't just make it faster, they rebuilt it inside and out. The hand-ported 1.6-liter B16B VTEC engine screamed to 8,400 RPM, making 182 horsepower. The gearbox was so close ratio, it seemed to sense your next shift. The chassis came seam-welded for maximum rigidity from day one. A helical limited slip diff, lightweight body, and razor-sharp suspension made it dance around rivals with twice the power. But emissions laws, crash safety, and a lack of side impact beams banned it outside Japan, including the US. The EK9 wasn't built for comfort, but for drivers chasing perfect corners. The ban only made it rarer and more desirable. A humble Civic turned track day legend. 3. Toyota Caldina GT4. The Caldina GT4 was the result of Toyota putting a sports car in a family wagon's skin. At first glance, just a boxy grocery hauler. But beneath the hood was a turbocharged 3SGTE engine wielding 260 horsepower. It shared the Celica GT4's rally-bred all-wheel drive system. This sleeper could hit 100 kilometers per hour in under 6 seconds, all while carrying your weekly groceries. Toyota never marketed it as a sports car, but everyone who drove one knew the truth. It handled like a GT4, but held the space of a Camry. Ultimate undercover speed machine. But that stealth made it a bureaucratic nightmare overseas. Too powerful to pass emissions in many regions, plus right-hand drive limited exports. The US never got it. Even New Zealand and parts of Europe restricted its import over power weight concerns and lack of left-hand drive options. The Caldina proved that performance doesn't need flash. Sometimes a roof rack will do. 2. Nissan Pulsar GTI-R. Take a grocery hatchback, juice it with rally steroids, and you get the Pulsar GTI-R. Innocent on paper, a compact hatch that could almost be a student's first car. But pop the hood, and you find the heart of a Skyline GTR's angry little brother, the SR20DET turbocharged inline-4. It made 227 horsepower, all fed through all-wheel drive shared with Group A rally cars. Weighing under 1,200 kilograms, the car had a bonnet scoop feeding an intercooler right on top of the engine. It could launch harder than many sports coupes of its time. That aggression caused trouble. Brutal turbo lag and twitchy handling made it too sharp for most drivers. Restricted by rally rules and hindered by wild emissions and safety quirks, it was banned in many countries, including the US, for years. Yet fans adore it. The GTI-R wasn't just a fast hatch. It was a rally weapon in disguise, refusing to play nice, blacklisted around the world. A speed legend that never really said goodbye. 1. Nissan Stagea 260 RS Autech. Topping the list is the Nissan Stagea 260 RS Autech, the ultimate sleeper wagon. Looks ordinary, but harbors Skyline GTR RB26 DETT twin turbo power, around 276 horsepower. It had all-wheel drive, 5-speed manual gearbox, Brembo brakes, and the ability to sprint from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, all while hauling family and luggage without breaking a sweat. To the untrained eye, just another wagon. But anyone who knows cars understands this was a monster in disguise. The Stagea mixed practicality with performance intent. Supportive bucket seats, GTR-style dials, cargo space rivaling SUVs. The ultimate sleeper that never needed to shout. Its ban in several countries had little to do with safety or emissions. It was the confusion it caused. Customs officials didn't know what to do with a 276 horsepower wagon that shared nearly everything with a GTR, but technically wasn't one. It stayed off US roads until it aged into import legality, which only added fuel to its mythical status. Today, it stands as one of the most ingenious blends of practicality and performance ever built. A wagon that proved power can be hidden in plain sight, just waiting for the right road to unleash hell. History behind the ban and the market culture. Why so many of these beasts were banned wasn't just about performance, but a web of strict 70s and 80s emissions, safety laws, and a unique cultural self-regulation called the Japanese Gentleman's Agreement. Introduced in the late 80s, this informal pact capped horsepower at 276 and top speed at about 112 miles per hour, aiming to curb a horsepower arms race and potential dangers on Japan's crowded streets. Automakers creatively pushed boundaries with technology like turbocharging, all-wheel drive, and variable valve timing to get maximum performance within these invisible walls, fueling a golden era of Japanese motorsport innovation and legend. And that's a wrap, gearheads. If you made it this far, you're craving the kind of cars that never made sense to governments, but made perfect sense to drivers. Stick around, there's plenty more where that came from. Hit subscribe, keep your revs high, and your curiosity even higher. The next deep dive might just make you question what legal really means.